Welcome back to the second of our three-part series on Israel. We're leaving the Dead Sea behind and driving further south, deep through the vast and stark expanse of the Negev Desert. The Negev covers more than half of Israel's landmass, yet just over a tenth of its population live here, but it's far from lifeless. The desert hosts a complex ecosystem, which generations of settlers and nomadic tribes have relied on to survive. This is the Negev Desert. Negev is a Hebrew word for parched, and as you can see, the land here is extremely parched, and although it's one of the most desolate places in Israel, it's also one of the most beautiful. And the best way to experience it all is off-road with a 4x4 vehicle. That's exactly what we're gonna do. Deep Desert Israel, this must be you.
Desert Israel.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Hello, good to see you.
Welcome, welcome.
So, are we all set?
We are ready, let's do it.
Okay, and where are we going? What are we gonna do?
We are heading down there into the biggest crater of its kind at the whole planet.
Wow.
The most beautiful place at the Israeli Negev.
Wow.
Come with me, I will show you.
Got it, we're gonna do that. Avi Ashlag of Deep Desert Israel offers off-road tours of Maktesh Ramon, the local name for the crater. Though you can enjoy the scenery from the main highway, only a 4x4 vehicle can take you off the road and deep into the desert where the best views are found, and only an experienced guide can keep you from getting lost in the wild. All right, here we go, off-road.
Off-road. You feel all those bumps?
But you have good suspension though, not as bad.
So
got
those,
fantastic suspension in this car.
those bumps, we call it the Israeli massage.
The Israeli massage is not as soothing as it sounds, but it does take you through parts of the crater, across dried up riverbeds, wadis and cliffs, not seen from the main road. The tour includes frequent stops to stretch your back, take some photographs, and learn more about the crater rock.
I just want to show you the beautiful sandstone and the colors that coming out of it, and as you can see, it's a free makeup.
No way.
People in the city are paying a lot of money to get those. Here it's just natural. And maybe we'll take some yellow from here. Look over here. Look at the clay and the minerals that coming out. And that way you can paint yourself as a native desert man. Would you like me to open
The huge crater is rich in mineral deposits, but since the entire area is a nature reserve, mining is prohibited. This far-sighted move allows us to enjoy the world's largest erosion crater, as close to as it was millions of years ago, though without the off-road tracks. You could spend a day, even two, driving to every corner of Maktesh Ramon, but just make sure you don't miss its most spectacular feature. This is amazing. This is spectacular.
This is amazing. This is Mount Gvanim, and it's a hill in the crater itself.
Gvanim, the name of the hill, means many shades of color, and Gvanim is exactly what you see, a variety of colors and layers of the rock. Breathtaking too are the odd shapes of rock that envelop the crater. So, is this the best spot? If you only had like one place to go in the desert, would this be the place?
Yes. If I will have tourists and they will tell me, take me to the most beautiful place in the crater, for sure it will be here on Mount Gvanim. Because as you can see, it's open. You can see the whole size of the crater. From east to west, it's like a marathon run, 42 kilometers. So it's almost the distance between Tel Aviv to Jerusalem.
No way.
And you can see it over here, it's wide open.
This is probably the most beautiful spot in the entire Negev Desert. And part of its beauty is its emptiness, the silence and desolation. It's hard to believe that 2,000 years ago, the Nabatean people established an important trading post here. This was along the important caravanserai route connecting the rest of Asia with the Mediterranean Sea in Gaza. The descendants of the Nabateans, the Bedouin, have found new parts of the Negev to live. But if only for a few hours, you can imagine yourself traveling as these nomads once did. Like us, they would have stopped to seek shelter from the scorching heat and rest for some tea in the shade of an acacia tree.
The best thing about this place is the quiet. It's so quiet here. It's so empty.
You can hear the birds.
You can hear the birds right now under the tree, but unless of that, it's all very, very quiet. So let's take just few minutes just to enjoy the atmosphere of the desert. Thank you.
Silent applause. You don't want to break the silence. So how do I move to the Negev Desert?
All right, now you're speaking.
How do I move here, huh?
Yes. Yeah, live like the ancient people, enjoying the simplicity of the desert. And at the end of the Jeep tour, when we are coming out of the off-road towards the road, I'm always saying to the people in the Jeep that sometimes in life you have to go off-road, and then you can appreciate how smooth is the road. So I'm inviting you.
I like that. I like that. Can I use that? Sometimes you have to go off-road in order to
appreciate how smooth is the road.
In order to appreciate how smooth is the road. I'm gonna put it on a t-shirt. Okay.
All right. No worries.
I realized that line is so true. So while back on the highway, I decided to go off-road again. Except this time, like the original Bedouin. That was really exhilarating, an off-road drive through the Ramon crater here in the Negev Desert. But let's try out how the ancient Bedouins did it. They did it with the original 4x4, camels. And there's my guide. Hello, hello. Hello, hello.
Shalom.
Shalom, shalom. So, camels.
Yalla, welcome.
I say, original 4x4, original off-road vehicle. Adil Walidi belongs to an ethnic group known as Israeli Bedouin, Arabs who once roamed the deserts of the Middle East as nomadic herdsmen, but have settled on this side of the Negev after the borders of the region were redrawn after Israel's independence. First things first, this is now Bedouin country in the desert. So when in Bedouin country, act like a Bedouin. Take your time, relax, and change your headgear. Adil's Ben Midbar Eco Tours relive his ancestors' caravan culture, not just for the benefit of tourists alone, but to preserve a way of life that's fast disappearing. Thank you so much for having me. So, this is what I understand about this tent. It's a typical Bedouin tent, and although it looks simple, it's actually very sophisticated. It took 7 years for his family to create. It's made almost entirely of wool. Wool being the perfect material for the desert environment. The Bedouin know how to live and survive in the desert. Every 3 days, right, you move from place to place. 3 days here, 3 more days on the road, 3 days to relax. And really, you can't have a house and move it around, right? Need something portable, lightweight, but very durable. A Bedouin tent. Fantastic. Sharing tea and playing the rebab are also part of the Bedouin routine. Most Bedouin today have settled in fixed farming communities where fresh food and modern appliances are available. But Adel shows me how to cook and eat when in the middle of the desert and without running water or electricity.
With your fingers, 3 fingers, and you eat.
So we're gonna eat like the Nabateans 3,000 years ago. The bread, baked in nothing else but ash on the sand, will keep its texture and flavor for as much as 3 days. This is eggplant, onions, and tomato. And garlic, little garlic, right? It looks like a very simple meal. Actually, it took something like 45 minutes to prepare it. This is what you call the original slow food movement, 3,000 years ago. Meals end with fresh brewed coffee. And why not? The first known Arabica beans were cultivated in Arabian lands close by and transported by camels to the region's various caravanserai. Camels are another hallmark of Bedouin culture. They're more than just a means of transport. They're a source of prestige and wealth too. Any instructions before I ride? My first time to ride a camel. Believe it or not, first time to ride a camel in the desert. And is it like a horse? Similar to a horse? Okay. So just get on.
Oh, welcome.
There go the muscles. Woo! Okay. Whoa, this is tall. Oh, this is not like a horse at all. The eco tour includes a camel ride to the edge of Ramon Crater, but you can book a 2-week caravan experience on camelback if you're really that serious. Camels are perfectly adapted to the desert. Their thick wool protects them from sandstorms and the hot sun, and they can store enough moisture and energy in their system to survive long periods without food and water. There are many parts of the desert where 4x4 vehicles are not allowed to pass, but the camels, they can go pretty much anywhere in the Negev Desert. And that's why they can take you to certain spots with the absolute best views of the Ramon Crater. Like this spot right here. Remember, this is desert time, which means take your time. That's exactly what I'm going to do here. I'm going to take my time to take in this beautiful view of the Ramon Crater below. Many who visit Israel think only of the holy shrines and the biblical sites. And though the Negev may not have as many to pique the pilgrim's interest, it feels deeply spiritual nevertheless. Here, time slows down significantly to reveal a part of the country relatively unscathed by the conflicts that have shaped the region's history. A place of peace, of natural beauty, and genuine hospitality. Thank you so much. I will remember this forever. Thank you. Thank you. Shukran.
Welcome.
Shukran.
Have fun.
And that's all for this part of our series on Israel. Join us again next week as we continue our journey through the Holy Land. Till then, I'm David Celdran. Thanks for watching.